Hello, welcome to a new video. I have two 540 block 5x5s. Yeah, and I'm going to do a tutorial for this one. I just recorded the showcase part of this, and then realised I did a stupid, and normally when I record I forget to switch my microphone on, but this time I just forgot to open OBS and press record. So hopefully I'm doing that now. Luckily I didn't do the whole recording. Anyway, so this is the first one. This one's a bit faster, but I still want to show this because it is my first, I think it's my first, no, it's my second 540 block with this layout. My first one is just terrible, so I'm not showing it. So yeah, this is it. Top and bottom are unsynced by one game tick, but I fixed out synergy, but I'm not on synergy. Yeah, 540 blocks, as I said. Kind of fast. Side to sync, top bottom, kind of sync. This is the back side. Bottom was a pain because I thought it'd be nice to slow down the triple extension on the opening because I thought that would make the animation better. It kind of does because it means the bottom isn't sitting around doing nothing with pistons like this, which looks bad. But it made me spend like half an hour longer on it. Anyway, so that's that. And this is the new one. A whole lot better. I broke a sign in the last take, which had the specs, so it's 540 blocks, 3.15 seconds, 63 game ticks, I think. Which is pretty fast for this. As fast as I could get it. Yep, no input delay on the open, which is very nice. Only like 2 ticks on the opening anyway. Doesn't matter. Sides are sync, top bottom are definitely sync. The sides are a bit slow though, but still doesn't matter. Now then, it might be locational, but I'm 99% sure it isn't because I think I would know. Because I made it on synergy, and the top was like 3 ticks slower, which is really weird. And if that's the case, that means a whole morning of my life would have been wasted. So let's hope it's not locational. Yeah, so this is the back side. Do you notice the code is way faster? That's like the main thing that makes it still faster. And the quad retraction uses odd game tick stuff, which makes it a bunch faster. And this dust thing is different to here. This uses rails and observers there, which lets this be a whole lot faster. Yeah, and yeah, bottom is a lot simpler because the top was fast enough, so this wouldn't be sitting around for that long. Kind of is, but whatever. Oh, the sides were more complicated, so I couldn't even fit that wiring in anyway. So, speed test time. That one is way faster. And the opening is a lot faster too. I'll go from this side. It's done already before that one has even started the second quad, which is quite cool. So, tutorial time. So, you need a 4x9, 4x9 by 15. 16. Well, okay, you need the hole, which is 4x4x9, and then the door goes a bit above that. So the 5548 has one layer on this side, one layer on this side, one layer on this side, 2 layers on this side, 1, 2, 3, 4 here, and 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah. So, I guess materials list actually. So, you need stack and 11 observers, that would be 75, 49 sticky pistons, 22 pistons, that's a lot of pistons, 25 dust, 13 repeaters, 5 comparators, 5 droppers, 4 hoppers, a cauldron which you fill with water, or a composter which you fill with stuff. You need something a comparator can read with at least 1 signal strength and can be moved by a piston and doesn't bud pistons. 8 note blocks, 1 powered rail, 1 target and 1 redirector. This, I use a tripwire because they can be placed on the side of blocks. You need 3 items to put in droppers, 3 leaves, a log, and the water bucket for the cauldron. These make a few odd game tick timings, which is nice. 4 input blocks, 39 wiring blocks, so that would be 43 building blocks you need. 3 immovable blocks, a slab or glass, just transparent, and a stack and 25 of door frame. Well, a stack of door frame blocks, so that are these, and then 25 door blocks, because obviously it's 5x5 door, 5x5 is 25. And the door frame blocks include these, which don't have to be immovable. I just use barriers to see. These 3 blocks need to be immovable. These don't. Yeah. So the lever is up here in the top left front corner, 1 below the top of the input. And the layout, I guess we should build. So got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Loads of side pistons. Top layout isn't particularly exciting. It's just your standard 540 block. I don't know if it's standard anymore. Actually, I'm going to build completely with smooth quartz. Actually, I don't know. We'll see how that goes. 3 observers down here. I'll do the inputs as well. Place these there. Yeah, I'm just going to use smooth quartz because that's what I have in my saved hotbar. And then just on all those, move those back. Why did I do that? Like that. That powers the top 3. Then we need our immovables. Go there. I'm going to use barriers so I can see, but these are actually I won't. Ceiling blocks, immovable blocks, so we can power these and it won't push across. That's the top. Then for the bottom, we have triple going up from the bottom layer, and then 2 storage blocks. The inputs are not very complicated. The standard triple, well, it's now standard 0-tick slider. That. So use the 0-tick slider to do the top ones, and that as the bottom, and then observers detect and do that. And we need that there, and then 2 sliders here. So 4 observers that way, 4 that way, that, and we need that. This needs to be solid, so it buds that. And that I don't think has to be. These obviously do. You need powder pistons there. And that's the layout. Also, setup uses a 2-tick there. So we will start at the top, I think. I'm just going to put those in. So, oh, I've tapped out. Don't know why that happens again. So the first thing that happens is we have a repeater input to there, which we need to hold this down so it buds these so we can update them later, which we do via that piston. And then to get this, we have a dropper with an observer there. That goes there, item in there. So that gives 2 pulses, so, and then this is a redirector for that dust, which goes into the updater, I think. There's an updater there, yeah. So, I'm going to get rid of this. So that should be the close done. Yep. So the first pulse comes from this repeater. Second one, you power this, and I just put in here, this turns on, 1 ticks these 3. And then this updater, which happens 2 ticks after this, goes on, updates these with this piston, extending them, and then this switches off, powering it again. And that's how we do that. And then to do the extension, we need to give that a long pulse, which we do via a cutting off thing. Ignore that powering. So you have piston here, which gets budded by that, which is where you have the cauldron and the water. So that's pushed down straight away, and that goes into there. Actually, goes into there. 1 tick. So that is on, but can't go through because that blocks. And as soon as you retract that, it extends. And then all we need to do is push that up after, I'm not sure how many game ticks, but a few. So we do that with this log, and it's a log and leaf to make it an odd game tick so it retracts as fast as possible. So now if we test, you can see, so the game down, that powers and that retracts as fast as possible. There aren't any 0 ticks, so this could be faster, but without 0 ticks I don't think this can be faster. And then we need to do the retraction in this part. So over here we're nearly completely done, apart from the refi. So we need to detect when this long pulse happens, but this 1 tick loads, this 1 tick loads, so we can't just do that or that. So what we do is we take a observer down, comparator, because comparators only take 2 ticks and not 1 ticks. Well, they take 2 or longer ticks. And this doesn't ever get 2 ticked, it either gets really long ticked from here or 1 tick. So, and that goes into here, which is the start of the retraction. So that goes into the only transparent block. Well, the only block that has to be transparent. And goes into a piston and an observer, because the first thing that powers is we need to do that, and that retracts it at the perfect time. I am actually going to use barrier blocks, just because you can see stuff better. So that does that, and then the next thing we need to do is double pulse that, which we do by 2 ticking this piston. What am I doing? 2 ticking it. Why is there an observer? Oh, yeah, the note block's down. Well, I'm not great at tutorials. So that buds powers this powers it a tick later. And if you didn't know, well, you'll see we do that. If you 2 tick a piston and detect the piston head or the piston base, it double pulses, which means you can retract this. If I can do it. It's hard to do manually. Yeah, basically it does that, and that is tick perfect, which is pretty cool. And this went through a bunch of designs because I needed to one tick this for the last attraction when we do that, but there's no space over here, so the only way is to power it from here. Before I had like a piston head there and it got powered, because if you one tick piston head and detect it, it also double pulses, but then there's no other way to single pulse this, so I needed that there. So yeah, it gets powered by that later, but we haven't got to that yet. So now we are we are in this state, so what we need to do, power this next. So the way we do that is with a 2-tick repeater there. That goes like that, and that's enough delay, and that pulls these back. And even though these power, these are still powering when this tries to retract, so it doesn't actually retract. Then the next pulse is to here, which is where the really annoying bit. So the target block comes in, which makes this 1.16, which is annoying. And then a dropper, which can't be silenced, which is also annoying. And that goes down into a log leaf, because we need an odd game tick. And that goes up into that, which goes into here. Doesn't go down because it's transparent, and it powers that. Perfect tick. And that is basically the whole quad retraction. So we can see that. And you can see, if you look closely, all the pistons retract as fast as they can. Yeah. So the next thing to do is we have another quad to do, so we need to untake that, and then this, and then in the top bottom we'll do that, and we do that. So how we do that, to get this pulse, I'm just going to do that. To get this pulse, we take another leaf, go like that, that goes into this piston I mentioned earlier, but we want it to toggle because obviously on the second quad, we're in this state, we don't want it to react into the ceiling because then it's seamless and breaks the close. So we need a toggle, which comes from here. So first time this powers powering that, and then the block powers. Second time this retracts, and then it's got nothing to power. So put it in that state. So that bit's not too difficult. Well, it was a pain, but not too bad. And the annoying bit is getting a decently long pulse into here. So the way we do that is with 2 droppers. We have an item down there, and then we take these like that. So now if we retract that, we power this, the item goes in, powers that, and then all these observers go, and then it powers this, which you might think, but you need to get this out. Powers this, which is a solid block, so powers this after. So if the item's here, this powers, does nothing, then this powers goes down. If the item was here, this powers, and then this powers, so it goes like that, super duper fast, faster than the comparator can detect. So this can power all at once, and it doesn't matter. But it means if we power this, that's the perfect tick pulse. And we need to reset that. And the way we power this is, because it's really hard to power that, because of this dust, we do the same trick as here and power the top one like that. So there'll be no item in here, So it powers this and this, so the item eventually ends in the top one. And the way we get that pulse into there with this and then a piston. This needs to be a piston because if we one tick this, first side doesn't power, but if we get something like a lamp, it powers both times. Same with like a hopper. Or really anything apart from piston, so you need a piston. There you go. That. This comparator powering this doesn't break for some reason. Probably because this is spamming. And that is the whole top done. So yeah, guess we can watch that in slow mo. Loading isn't that crazy. That simulates the bottom pushing up. If you can see the extension on the refire could probably be a game tick faster or something, but for some reason that didn't work, so yeah, and it'd be bigger to make that work, I think. So that is the top done. That went way faster than I thought. So more inputs. So this also updates that, by the way. So to power the bottom, we need to get an output from the lever, but not from the refire. So we have this. Obviously, if you power this, it soft powers the block. Or hard powers it, I don't know what you call it, but it doesn't go through. So that's good. And then what we have is we have a piston down, going down here into a block, a note block, and a piston. I'm done. This has a dust on top, note block, piston. I'm also going to place these. So that goes into that, because that's the first thing that goes. And then this travels down into there, and that's all the storage done nice and easily. And then the next pulse, so we do the 0 tick slider, and now we need to move that up, which we do by powering this. These toppers those power 2, but it doesn't do anything. And then this pulse comes along and does that, and then we need to do the triple extension, which is just one ticking this bottom, and that happens. This solid block is meant to be on this side. Ugh, there's some hair in my mouth. So, and this should be here. That goes and does that. The reason why this is 2 tick, because if it was a 1 tick, it would extend pushing into the top, which is annoying. And then top pushes down. And the same thing happens. This goes, well, that retracts by powering those, and then this goes, and then we do this again. So all that happens on both edges, which is quite nice. So the next pulse is going into there, and then to get this pulse we come over here, and this is actually on an observer going that way. Piston. And that goes like that. And that is exactly what I just showed. And then, now the thing that only happens on the opening, which is we need to one tick this, which buds that. So I guess, yeah, that needs to be solid. Both these need to be solid. I didn't know that. So we power that, and that was the double retraction. This is a really nice sequence. Then all we have to do is power that. So the way we do that is with that. I just need to give this 4-tick pulse. Give this 4-tick pulse on when it extends, powers this, retracts, powers that. Pretty simple. We just need to get a pulse to this after a long time to make it sync with the top. And the way we get that is to have a piston up here going down into, oh yeah, this isn't here. It's that, I'm thinking back to old versions. That goes into that toggle, which goes into a 4-tick there. And then downwards piston. And under here, any 1, 2, 3 block. This here, and then our trip wire goes there. Or alternatively, you can do that, or you can do that, or you can do that, or that, or that, or that. There are tons of things you can do to redirect. You can do a lever button, just don't press it. Well, I'm going to do a tripwire because you can't click on them. And they don't need a support block. And they aren't a chest which has an inventory and it's laggy a tiny bit apparently. Anyway, that goes into a 4-tick, I think. Might have to check. I kind of rushed over the bottom. Yeah, 4-tick. And then last dropper hopper. Item in comparator. And that is the whole bottom, except you might remember this isn't linked up, so what we need to do it like that, and then it should work with the top now. There, sync. Very nice, but now we have the side pistons, which take up a huge amount of space, because I want them to be sync. So the way we power these two is by double pulsing this piston. The way we power the last 3 is by powering that like so. So that powers like that, and if you want to tick it, sync. And the way we do that is by 2-ticking that piston, because as I said earlier, 2-ticking of piston, double pulses. So the way we get the first tick is like that, second like that, 2-tick goes into there, and then that makes that side sync. Cool. So if we count the ticks from the bottom input, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we need to power all of these on tick 8. So the way we do these is with that. We power that, that's 7. So let's do some counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 7, 8, 9. What? Oh, I guess that is sync and I counted wrong. I'm very confused. Anyway, so that powers at 10, it seems. Oh, I am stupid. That's 1 down. And that goes like that, so that does all these 3. Then we need to power that, which we do 1, 2, 3. Oops, spam, but I don't know how else to make them sync. And those should be sync with the other side. Yep. That's 5 5 done, so now replace these. Yep. then you might as well fill these in, make these dust, make these immovable. So obsidian might be expensive, so you can use furnaces to fill these in. Don't need to worry about anything. Updating. Place that dust. And is 5 done? Yep. Not much else to say. Yeah. Someone can think of a fix for this target because I don't like it being 1.16 because of one block. But I really couldn't because this needs to be powered after one tick from here. But you like just do that. But then this doesn't update. And now that I think about it, we can do that. Anyway, you're building it like this, so yeah. And who cares? You're probably in 1.20 or 1.19 anyway, so who cares if it's 1.16 plus? Apart from me. So that is the door. Oh, missed. Hope you enjoyed that tutorial. Went surprisingly well. I only had to glance over at the pre-built door like twice, which is crazy good for me, and I didn't even have to look at the Lightmatic, which is over there, which is probably an old version anyway. So yeah, goodbye.